Anybody need white balance? Everybody get your white balance? All right. This morning I've got our executive team. Both the ACs are here, Matt Slinkard and Troy Finner. We've got Bobby Dobbins, our Assistant Chief over Homicide Division, which includes the Special Investigations Unit, and the Commander of Homicide, Mike back here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go over real quickly, remind everybody about this incident. As you recall, we had a tragic incident in the city of Houston on January 24th. I'll go over what we put out that day, what we based it on, and then I'll conclude with where we're at today. So as you recall, on Wednesday, January 24th, Nicholas Cunningham and Jimmy Tony Sanson Jr. kidnapped Ulysses Sebastian Valadez in Conroe, Texas. Conroe PD worked with the FBI and determined Mr. Valadez was being held in Northeast Houston as a residence in the 2300 or on the 2300 block of Albert. FBI SWAT teams formulated a rescue plan, which was executed in the early morning hours of January 25th. One part of the plan was when the signal was given, one agent was to deploy flashbang charges on the south side of the residence. One agent was to break a window on the south side of the residence with a halogen tool, and one agent was to provide cover. As the operation began, flashbangs were deployed, and the breaking of the window in the back of the residence began. The agent who was to break the window, unfortunately, upon the first strike to the window, lost his grip, as you recall, that we put out again after this incident, on the halogen tool, and the tool fell inside the residence. This is where which led to the agent to end up firing his weapon that morning, his rifle. He originally stated, and I reported to the people of Houston, that he approached the window to begin breaking the remainder of the glass as the first agent lost his tool. And as you all recall, we said that he used his rifle. He stated that at that time, an unknown person from inside of the room grabbed his weapon by the barrel and began pulling away from him, trying to pull it away from him. And that unknown weapon, according to him, would have been the victim in this case, Mr. Valadez, who, as you all know, tragically lost his life that morning. He then stated to us that feeling he was being pulled toward the broken glass of the window and possibly into the room, and that his weapon might be taken from him and used against himself or his teammates, which were approaching that back room from inside the residence, he fired 2 rounds. He stated after firing 2 rounds, he was able to retreat to the corner of the residence where he saw the unknown figure fall back into the residence. At this point, the remainder of the team entered the room from the residence and found Mr. Valadez had tragically been shot and ultimately lost his life. Our department, the Special Investigations Unit, upon my learning of this incident, was directed under the leadership of Matt Slinker and Bobby Dobbins and Captain Mike Skillern to conduct a criminal investigation in this matter. I want to first and foremost let the community know that our hearts continue to go out to the family of Mr. Valadez and everyone involved in this incident. I also want the community to know that the Federal Bureau of Investigation has completely cooperated with the Houston Police Department, has been continues to be a great team partner in this investigation and all matters of public safety in the city of Houston and our area of responsibility. But on in mid-April of this year, our Special Investigations Unit completed its investigation and submitted it to the Harris County District Attorney's Office and Kim Ogg's office and to the United States Attorney through the Office of Inspector General. This morning I'm here to announce, and we're here to announce, that our investigative findings do not support the description of how this incident occurred provided by the shooting agent. Our forensic evidence, witness evidence, and other evidence does not support the statement that he made. Having said that, it's really important for the community to know that This criminal case, as it relates, as you all know, that when anytime a peace officer takes a life, we conduct anywhere in this nation a criminal investigation to determine the appropriateness of the use of force and to actually present it to prosecutors, and prosecutors will either make a determination on their own or they'll go through a grand jury. It's important for the community to know that our portion of this ended in mid-April. We have submitted it to both the U.S. Attorney's Office, the local U.S. Attorney in Patrick Ryan, that this district has recused themselves because they work on a daily basis with the FBI here in the Houston AOR. It's been referred to the Office of Inspector General of the Department of Justice, who is working with the United States Attorney out of the Western District, which is in San Antonio. I have personally communicated, and our team has actually worked very closely with the Office of Inspector General of the Department of Justice and with the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office and the District Attorney's Office to ensure that we conduct a thorough, complete investigation. The criminal investigation now lies primarily in the hands of the United States Attorney's Office out of the Western District in San Antonio, with obviously the Office of Inspector General of the Department of Justice taking the lead in terms of where it moves from here. I have personally our investigation has determined that the sequence of events as it relates to how that shooting occurred is not supported by the totality of the evidence and the statements in this investigation. Having said that, there is a criminal investigation that's ongoing at the federal level, with obviously monitoring at the state level with the District Attorney's Office, and I will not be putting into the public record precisely what happened or how the sequence of events differ from what was told to our investigators or to the investigators by the agent who discharged those 2 rounds, because we need to protect obviously the ongoing criminal investigation. But I don't want our community, we felt very strongly that it was time for us after so many months, because the process is moving a little slower than where it would in our at our level, that we let the community know that the initial sequence of events as reported to us and as reported to the community by me is not supported by our investigation. I want to thank the special investigation. We did in fact finish our investigation, and that our investigation does not support the sequence of events provided to us by the involved shooter in this case. And so with that, I'll open it to questions.
Yeah, I have a question.
In terms of the officer, just to clarify, or the agent, rather, to clarify that, the agent who fired the shot, is that the same agent who broke the window?
No.
Or is that
As you recall, an agent was using a Halligan tool to breach the window, and he lost control of the Halligan tool. It fell inside the room where the victim, the kidnapped victim, and ultimately the man that was Mr. Valadez that died in this incident, it fell in that room, and that's when the shooter agent indicated that he started trying to use his assault rifle to breach the window when somebody from the inside grabbed it. The bound victim grabbed the rifle, and he felt that he was losing control, and that had he lost control, that the weapon could be turned and used against the entry team that was coming from the opposite direction from the front of the house, and that's when he made the decision to fire 2 shots.
And your investigation
Does not support that, his sequence of events. And I'm not going to provide the sequence of events or what our investigation does show, because there's still an ongoing criminal investigation that involves a lot of folks, a lot of witnesses, and I know that the United States Attorney's Office, the FBI are taking this matter very seriously, and I don't want to say anything that would hamper or impede their investigation. Go ahead.
So you said someone was using a Halligan tool. There was the agent who.
I can't hear you.
Sorry, you said there was the agent who was using a Halligan tool. There was the agent who tried to breach the window and then actually fired the shots, and then there was.
The Halligan tool is the agent breaching the window that lost control, and then when he lost control and it fell in, what was reported to us is that the agent that shot used his assault rifle to try to break the window, which he reported to us, and I reported to this community, that the actual victim, kidnapping victim, who was actually laying inside on a couch on the other side of that window, popped up and grabbed, and there was a struggle for the firearm, and it fearing, this is what was reported to us by the shooting agent, fearing for the lives of his fellow agents that were entering from the front of the house. He felt that he was going to lose control and potentially the weapon can be turned and used by someone. Remember, it was dark. This is a very tragic event. I don't care whether it's accurate or inaccurate. The truth of the matter is, it's very tragic. It's a very tragic set of circumstances. But you just go back and you'll see what we reported based on his statement. What else?
Chief, ¿nos puede decir en español, por favor, cuál fue esta secuencia
Can you
de...
talk a little bit more about the FBI's timeline here? Do you have any indication when they're going to be completing their stuff?
I think they're
mean,
moving. Look, listen.
And this was an issue with Kim Og too, about who would, she released a statement months ago about who was going to be handling this as well.
Yeah, listen,
Or delays from the.
Look, at the end of the day, what I think is most important, we have, I think that justice, the time matters. That's why our team knows that my direction to our Special Investigations Unit, and it's always been my position as a police chief, that they should take no more than 90 days, 90 calendar days to complete, preferably within 60. And one of the things I can tell you, you talk to the district attorney's office in Kim Og, they're very pleased with the work, just the professionalism, just how thorough the investigations are from the Special Investigations Unit, and I think she's really pleased with the timeliness of our investigation. I think that really speaks to the leadership of the men up here and the women in this department and their excellence. So I can't speak to the federal government and the speed of their processes. That's something that they'll have to answer. I can just tell you that I've always said that justice delayed is justice denied for everyone involved, for the FBI agent that discharged and his family. I mean, I would hate to have something like this hanging over me. I think justice delayed is justice denied for the family of Mr. Valadez, who want to know exactly what happened. And so they're going to move. I know that they're working diligently to be thorough. And I think at the end of the day, what they want to do is get it right and make sure that they leave no stone unturned.
And
Are
so-
there any questions about whether or not the hostage inside was bound?
No, he was bound. There's no questions about that. His hands were bound very tightly, probably halfway towards around the wrist and halfway towards the palms, probably about that much. So
Would it
this
be
is
safe
probably
to say in front of or behind his body?
in front of.
Is all of this to the family, the slain man?
No, I have not. But thanks for bringing it up, because I will call them today. And I'm not going to give them specifics either, because we don't want it to get out. We want to, again, respect the process. We don't want to jeopardize a criminal investigation. Anything else?
You were describing how the victim's hands had been bound with tape. Can you say that he would have been capable of even grabbing?
I'm not going to
something?
talk about what we, again, I know everybody wants to know the specifics, but we have, all the people involved here deserve a process that is not jeopardized by putting out any more information. And I think that we owe that to the Valadez island. I think we owe that to the involved FBI agents, and I think we ultimately owe that to the community. And so we're not going to put out any additional information as to, suffice it to say that what was reported to us when this incident occurred is not supported by the totality of the evidence in this case, and our investigative findings do not support the sequence of events in terms of the officer-involved shooting.
Do you know if the agent is still with the FBI?
I don't know that. You'd have to, any questions regarding the status of this agent will have to be referred to, you have to contact the FBI on that.